Welcome to this episode of Mainline Connect. I'm Jennifer Lynn Robinson, and my guests today are the founders of a great local nonprofit called Hotties for Humanities, Karen Ridge and Jennifer Trevithick. Did I get it right? The founders of Hotties for Humanities. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. We're excited.
Good. So we like to start off the show with a networking topic. And, I was thinking about, we'll get more into the details, of course, about Hotties. But, you guys hold 2 events a month. Each one benefits a different nonprofit usually. And there's so many great causes out there. So I was wondering how networking plays into how you guys decide, how you find the nonprofits that you feature, and how you decide to narrow it down when there are so many worthwhile causes out there. And I'm sure you get contacted by people who want to be the beneficiary of your events, and probably sometimes you can't accommodate them. So how do you work that out?
Well, it works a lot of different ways. Of course, through networking, we're always asking if anyone knows a charity that really is in need, or it could be a person in need because of a hardship, financial, medical, they've had some kind of disaster that needs help. So we can do it that way. We also post a lot on social media, and email mailings to try and find people. But our best source is the people that we know and the people that we talk with and network with, because they know organizations that are in need, or they may actually work for an organization that's in need.
Okay, that's great. And that's some of that is just getting out there to different events and organizations.
Yeah, and just reaching out and saying, do you know someone? This is what we do. A lot of people don't realize that they can come to us, and we're more of like a fundraising facilitator is what I would say. We are great project managers. It's something that we do and our team does. We've located restaurants that will donate the space, the food. So we have the infrastructure together to do an event. Smaller charities that have trouble fundraising sometimes just can't do that. I met with a woman last week and she said, I ran a fundraiser last year. I never realized how much work it was.
Sure.
Thank goodness you found me. I can't wait to do an event with you.
Yeah, because you guys, like you said, you have everything in place already, and it's really hard to do it on your own, especially if you haven't done it before.
Yes, it can be very difficult, and people don't realize all the different things that you have to do. And we're very fortunate that we have a nice team of people who kind of done this before, and we're starting to divvy up all the different tasks so we can churn the number of events that we have each month.
So it wasn't always like this, right? At some point you started, right, the organization, and it started just probably as an idea that you had. So when did you start it? Tell us kind of the theory behind Hotties and how it got to where it is today.
Sure. We started in March of 2013. The years all roll together. Kind of in an idea, like we wanted to give back, but there were so many needy charities, and what do you do? Our skill set is basically project planning and throwing events. So we kind of came up with this idea, applied for our 501c3 so that we could help people who even, maybe weren't a charity themselves. I mean, we've helped some women who with stage 4 ovarian cancer. Someone lost their home to a fire. With the example of Barb Giancari, a good friend. It's not actually a charity, but we're helping to support her family as she goes through brain and breast cancer.
Sure.
So we had that opportunity. It was kind of born out of an idea. Fortunately, we had some contacts in the restaurant business, which were a big help, and they wanted to reach out and help us. So that's how we started, and we've grown from like little 1 event a month to 2 to 4 a month.
So how do you guys balance having a career and kind of doing these 2 to 4 events a month? I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
I'm very fortunate. I'm in sales and design, so I work from my home.
Right.
It's not a part-time job. It's a full-time. I probably spend 40 to 50 hours a week at Hotties, and Jen, kind of about the same, would you say?
Absolutely, definitely. Probably 30 to 40 at least, and on an event week, probably closer to 50.
Wow.
It's like any small business. When you start, you try things.
Yeah.
They may not always work. We don't really consider them failures. We consider them learning experiences.
Sure.
And we've had our fair share, as any small business does. But we really feel like we're hitting our stride and we're refining our process for not only looking for charities, but running events, getting gifts, getting donors. And, we've brought some people on that have been, wonderful to work with. Ashvini Mashra is handling most of our charity intake, which has taken a huge weight off of me personally, because I used to do all that too, or most of it by myself. So we're very grateful for the team we've assembled.
So what advice would you have? There's a lot of people out there that either want to start their own nonprofit, or maybe they have a small nonprofit, that's on the side of what they do. what advice do you have for them, some tips to help them kind of get where you guys are?
Oh boy. I mean, I would definitely say, you gotta love it 100%.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have 100% of your time to give to it, it's your baby. It's whether it's your firstborn or maybe not so much if you're doing it on the side and you already have a business or a family or anything else that's taking up a lot of time. But especially in the beginning, it's kind of all hands on deck. It is very busy, and you just have to go into it expecting a lot of work. I feel like if you're very honest with yourself and you talk to a lot of other people going into it and you prepare yourself, just knowing this is going to be really tough. It's going to be really difficult. There's going to be bumps along the way, but I feel ready and I'm ready to work hard, and you really commit to it 100%. You'll hopefully have some success. I mean, it's a full-time commitment, at least mentally, when you don't have 100% of your time to give, but it's a lot of hard work.
So definitely some of the success of your events depends on the nonprofits themselves. I would think having, a good collaboration, having a role in promoting and marketing and really getting their people to come and their supporters to come out as well. A lot of times nonprofits don't have that much staff and they're very mission focused. So have you had situations where, while they really are excited that they are going to be part of events for you, maybe they haven't promoted it or marketed it in the way that you hoped, and how have you kind of dealt with that?
We have in the past. We would consider that a learning experience.
A learning opportunity.
Yes. But as I said, we have refined a lot of the processes and procedures. We now really go into it, all the discussions with the charities, we go into it as we're a partnership.
Right.
We're in this together. We'll throw the party, but you need to bring the people, is kind of where we're leaning towards. We have the party set up, but we need them to get the people that are passionate about their cause. They know who those people are, the people that they pull on their heartstrings all the time.
Right.
We have a core group of people that come to probably a majority of our events, but they can't support every event. The charity really needs to get their people in here. We've also worked on some financial incentives to make it better for them.
Okay.
We started working with them a little bit earlier. Believe it or not, our charity cycle starts about 6 months out before we even start. And then we really try and engage them with, different things that they can do and help them along the process.
That's great. Yeah, and I'm sure you've realized probably along the last couple of years, starting earlier has probably made a big difference.
Absolutely.
The time frame of planning it takes longer, and then kind of getting people on board and getting it promoted the right way always takes longer than you think it's gonna.
Always. Earlier the better.
Yes. So, some of your events are hotties, and they're just for women, and some of them are hotties and hunks, and they're men and women. So, how do you promote to sort of the male audience to get people to attend the hotties and hunks? Is it generally sort of significant other spouses, business colleagues of the women who attend, or is there a whole other demographic of men that come?
There's definitely a whole additional demographic of men that come. And to be honest, marketing to them is pretty easy. The guys were really begging to come. We started out as thinking we would keep it ladies only, and even within the first few months, guys were saying, wow, this is fantastic. We'd love to come. Can you invite us sometime? So it started kind of from that. We said, hey, why not? Let's invite the guys. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And the first one was almost a beta test, and it went very well, and the guys really wanted to come back. So we do have, the husbands, the boyfriends, the brothers that support, but also it's beyond just family members and spouses. It's definitely guys who are saying, I want a chance to network. There's a lot of pretty girls here. This is fun, and why not? So.
Yeah. I mean, there's another group that I go to, which maybe you've also attended, called Society for Professional Women.
Absolutely.
It's the women's arm of the Mainline Chamber, and I'm always surprised there's not more men that come there because they open it to men. And I would say maybe just on, my assessment, there's maybe 15 to 20% men that come, and usually several hundred women, right, that come to those events. And such a great place for men to network because there's so many women in the room and not that many of them. So I feel like people naturally gravitate towards almost like, why are you here,
Well,
so
I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, women are just naturally better at networking.
Yeah.
I feel like. And so for hotties and hunks, we don't market it to them as much as networking opportunities because for them, I feel like that scares them off a little bit. for whatever reason, guys might not be as comfortable as women are in getting together and being with each other and networking. So for the guys, we just pitch it more fun. It's hotties and hunks. It's a great night out. It's a lot of fun. Have a good time. Yeah. And they end up networking anyway.
Sure.
So win-win.
Sure. So it's a win-win. Yeah. So usually you guys do one event in Chester County area and then one in Philadelphia. Do you have to market that differently?
I wouldn't say we market them differently. We have a much larger following out in Chester County, but we started out there first.
Right.
I think we were there about 18 months prior to starting in Philadelphia. The Chart House came to us. We had solicited them for a gift certificate, and I was fortunate enough to meet the man who runs the whole East Coast for Landry's, and he said, we would love to host your events. And that's your best case scenario for us, you know, offering, you don't have to go in and negotiate the contract, it's there. They've been a phenomenal company to work with. And the Chart House is a beautiful venue.
It's beautiful.
Right there on the water. And for us, having a great venue and staff is just
key.
The tops. A lot less hassle and you can just go. So we're starting to get a real foothold in the city, but we live out in Chester County, so obviously we can draw from our friends. But we're noticing that our events are steadily growing in the city. They have valet parking and on-site parking, which a lot of people don't know, for free.
Yeah.
So that's huge, I think, when
That's
you're doing an
huge.
event in the city. And they're easy to get to because they're on Delaware Avenue. You don't have to get up in the city and deal with the gridlock.
Right. No, I think those two things are really key. I think a lot of people want to go to networking events in the city, but then they think about exactly what you said. I'm going to get stuck around City Hall at rush hour, and then I'm going to have to pay, you know, X amount for the event and then another $20 to park. So, I mean, you know, that's a great selling point that not only do you have it at this beautiful venue, but you have the free valet parking and you don't really have to get in the gridlock. So
And the food is great.
And the food's great. Yeah. So that's wonderful. So tell me what you guys kind of have in store for this year. Not the events specifically. I mean, we'll go into that, but you have some goals. I mean, I'm sure every year you're trying to grow the organization as a whole. What are you looking to do in 2016?
We do, actually. We have a big board that sits in my office, and we just bought an even bigger board because since we originally did it, they have grown significantly. I think something that a lot of people don't know is we also do what we call Hottie's Community Giving.
Okay.
So we support a lot of different things, like we'll do Feed the Fire in honor of Western Keaton on March 22nd, where we go in and we feed a firehouse. We adopt them.
Oh, wow.
In memory of Weston.
Okay.
We also adopt angel children. Last year we did 3. Our goal is to do 10 this year.
Okay.
It was such a heartwarming experience to shop for these kids that have, you know, asked for a blanket and mittens, to buy them enough that they have toys. We did stockings and everything. We also do running of the turkeys, where we run with turkeys, and everyone who runs with our team, we match their turkey as a gift. So we do those things, and we have hefty goals for that. We also set goals for the number of events and the number of people attending and the amount of money we wanted to raise. So that was just a couple of our goals, but we're already well on track, a little bit ahead of where we want to be, and I can attribute that to the great team of people we have working with us.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm sure, you know, some of establishing that team probably has to do with networking as well, finding the people that you can rely on to kind of be your board of advisors. I'm sure you've met some of them through networking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We met Ashvini through Femfessionals, and our wonderful photographer, Sandrine, is actually the next door neighbor of Leanne Embry, who we met through Femfessionals.
Okay.
And she had invited Sandrine to run with the turkeys with us 2 or 3 years ago. And what can I say? She just fell in love with us.
Right.
Not really. And we had to like beg her to come on board. But once she did, she's really enjoying it and having a great time. So networking is really key. It's how we've met a lot of great people. Julie Shopa we met through Femfessionals.
Yeah.
How did we initially meet Lori? Through Hotties. She came to an event.
Yeah, her friend came to a Hottie's event, and somebody said, I know this girl, Lori Camerati, and she's basically looking to do something. I sat down and met with her, and she's been with us from the very beginning and has been one of our founding board members. And now Ashvini is also a member of our board.
That's great. So this is probably a good time to ask my question about networking organizations. Has there been 1 or 2 organizations that you guys feel have really helped propel Hotties as a whole for you?
Well, I think the Femfessionals has been a great stepping stone for us. We've met a lot of wonderful women. And even if it's not that direct connection, I think hanging around women who are positive, run their own businesses, have been through those ups and downs and know that it's not all la 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 la. Like there are moments like when you're in the trenches and you just want to reach out to someone and say, help.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing about the FEMS is there's plenty of women in there that you can do that with. So they're not just people you network with, but they're a support staff for you. I think different networking groups provide different things.
Yeah.
But I think overall our strongest thing has been with the FEMS.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, from professionals, I think one of the things I've really noticed going along the lines with what you said is, you know, I used to be in the corporate world. I'm sure a lot of us used to be in the corporate world. And while not everybody in professionals is an entrepreneur, there certainly are women that are in the corporate world or work for nonprofits and things like that. But the majority of the women are entrepreneurs. And I think, you know, when you're at a workplace or a corporation or a business, you know, at least you have that camaraderie of, let me tell you what happened today, or I'm having this problem, can you help me solve it? But, you know, you're kind of on your own as an entrepreneur. So not having that support network can get very lonely and very challenging as far as, you know, getting questions answered and help and advice and things like that. So, I mean, I think the group is wonderful for that. You're right. Because, I mean, you know, you have your sounding board, you have people to commiserate with, you just have people to have a good time with, you have people who are at different stages of their business, which I think is great. You know, you can talk to somebody who's 20 years in and hear about, you know, as, how did you guys put it, the life learning experiences? Or
learning opportunities.
The learning opportunities, right. You can hear about the learning opportunities of other people in the hopes that maybe you won't go down that road yourself. So, I mean, I think those things are invaluable, you know.
And I think the other great thing that people don't realize, and we'll put this on a lot of our event posts, is when you're going out to a group of the FEMS is 1,000 women, even if you can't come to the event, you know, please just share it with your friends, because what you're doing is you're just multiplying the number of people who hear about the event.
Right.
And it could be that one person that you just catch the eye who could bring 5 or 10 people to an event. That's a lot of money for a charity.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge help, you know, even just taking that 10 seconds or something to share it. It's
goes a long
huge.
way.
It's really powerful.
Yeah. So, I mean, what kinds of things are you guys looking for as an organization? Are you looking for more board members, or, you know, looking for just more people to know about Hotties and attend events? What sort of things are you looking for?
We're definitely looking for additional volunteers. We definitely want to expand our team. So we're always looking for people who have a wide variety of skills. Behind the scenes, there's tons of work to do. You know, we do all of our website managing. Our website developer actually is sitting right here.
Sometimes she's so uncooperative.
You know, I do a lot of our marketing. There's a lot that's involved. So, and a lot of the behind the scenes is Karen and I working on that sort of thing. And then we get our whole team together and we do prep days. We put raffle baskets together, all the gift bags for the events. There's a lot of fun things.
Sure.
You know, we might drink a little wine or something when we're doing it. Why not?
Why not?
Just to pass the time along. But it's a lot of fun. And we're definitely looking for people on the back end, but also people that are interested in possible event planning, you know, especially not kids, I shouldn't say kids, but adults who maybe are graduating college and looking to get into a career, especially something in the event or hospitality field. We would love to work with you or chat with you about some opportunities that they could have working with an organization and planning some events to get some experience.
That's a great idea, actually. You have a lot of people coming out of college who say, how am I going to get the experience when I don't have experience? And, you know, this would be a great way to help some wonderful causes and also gain something for your LinkedIn resume and all of that good stuff. So, yeah.
So, yeah, we really need event planners.
Event planners. And I guess, you know, anybody who would want to contribute an auction item as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
We're always looking for raffle gifts, we'll promote your business. Also sponsors. Sponsors are huge. Even though we don't pay the restaurant, we do pay the wait staff. They spend a lot of time helping us set up and clean up at the end of the night. So it's 4 hours for them.
Yeah.
So there is some money, and our sponsorship money goes to pay for that. And then whatever's left over goes directly to the charity. So, you know, and we will definitely we'll put you on our website. We'll put you on our constant contact mailings. We'll promote you on Facebook in exchange for your donation.
Yeah. So what are some of the events you do have coming up that you want to tell our viewers about?
So we have on 3/15 is the first event in March.
No worries if you have to read the dates. We want to make sure you get it right.
That's right. So if you go to 3/15, that's going to be your first one.
Yeah. 3/15, we're doing Kids for the Community. It's run by Erin Levins, who also runs Headroom in Media, and we're very excited about that. That's going to be at the Gables, and on 4/19 we're also at the Gables for CERTS. It's an adult community network that we're working with.
Okay.
In the city on 323, we're doing Nancy's Fight for the Girls. Nancy is a 3-time breast cancer survivor and has run or done the 3-day walk numerous times, and now is walking in 3 different cities each year.
Wow.
And then on 4/27, we're going to be doing your event at the Chart House to promote you and help you raise money for the Woman of the Year campaign for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society,
I'm very
which
excited
we're very
about that.
excited about.
I'm also very excited. Yes.
And that's our, March and April. But our events, we run events February through June and August through November.
Okay.
And all of our events are on Facebook and our website.
Wonderful. So let's shift gears a little. We've talked a lot about hotties. What about personally? So, we're kind of still at the start of a new year. We're only at the beginning of February. Do you guys have any personal goals for 2016 that you'd like to tell me about?
Well, for me, I definitely wanted to work on, being more present and slowing down a little bit. Life is so hectic all the time, and everybody's busy and has things going on. And I just wanted to work on, letting the small things go and just being present and enjoying my time and enjoying, the company of those around me and keeping that in my forefront.
Yeah, that's a good
what
goal.
I'm doing.
My lofty goal for the year is I want to run a half marathon. Knees don't fail me now. So that is my goal for the year. I've never done it. The longest run I've ever done is Broad Street. So my goal, and I'd like to get it done before summer. So that's my goal.
That's a pretty big goal. Do you have anything in mind as far as what you're going to run?
Well, I was going to run Broad Street till this morning since I didn't get in. That's kind of out. But there's a half marathon, I think, in Rehoboth the week after. There's one in Wilmington the week before. I was kind of just waiting to see what happened.
Okay.
My knees aren't quite what they used to be. So 2 weeks back to back won't help. But I usually do a bunch of 5Ks. And I know there's one for the Gift of Life that's in, I think, April, which I'll definitely do that. And then we'll move on from there.
I'll be there to cheer her on.
Yes.
Wonderful. So what about any kind of bucket list items? That could be like travel or maybe something else that you had in mind. Not necessarily a resolution, but just something off your bucket list you'd like to accomplish.
I'd like to eat cake by the ocean of Fiji. And no, I'm kidding. But I would love to go to Fiji. When I think about bucket list things, the first thing that comes to mind is I think of places I'd like to travel or places I'd like to go. And that's really where it ends. It's funny, but I don't keep kind of a running list of things I want to do, because as soon as I know I want to do something, pretty decisive in working to make sure that then happens. So
is Fiji at the top of the list?
It's kind of fleeting for me. It's like I think of something and I try to go make it happen right away. But I would love to go to Fiji, and that's something that I would say is on my bucket list, something I would love to do.
Very cool.
Mine's Bali. I'm not sure why. I've just always really wanted to go there.
I'll go there too.
And it's getting my husband to fly that far over water, but I would really love to go there, and I would love to go zip lining. Again, something he would never do with me.
Okay.
I would definitely do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. I've, bungee jumped and done some crazy stuff like that. I was a little younger, but I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Those are some great goals.
Sign us up.
Yeah. So, for the significant others that you have in your life, it sounds like, between career and hotties, that's a lot of hours you're spending. How do you kind of manage the balance of your personal relationships?
Well, we just drag them along, is the simple answer. No, Jules and Scott are a wonderful support team for us, so we're really lucky that they are. They're actually our banner technicians, so they have official Hotties titles.
Okay.
They haven't gotten the business cards yet, but we're working on that. So we kind of just make them part of the team. And they come and they have a good time, so they're fantastic with that, and they help us behind the scenes with some things that we need. And again, it's just all about balance. After the event's done, we usually take a little bit of time to kind of kick our heels off and enjoy a little bit of time together, as a group, and anybody else that wants to stay and enjoy the after party with us. But we get a chance to, eat, maybe have a cocktail, and just relax. And the guys are good with it. I mean, they understand and they support us, so can't ask for more.
So since I'm also a dog person, I've noticed you guys are both, dog people.
Yes.
And, what role does that play for you guys? Because I know for me, my dogs are always such a great, source of comfort and support and, advice.
We're really excited. We've tried, like, it's been a big thing of ours to work with like a great dog charity. Somebody that really wanted to just dive in with both feet. And we've done some smaller ones.
Yeah.
But we just hooked up with Rescue Dogs Rock.
Okay.
And
I don't
we're
know
planning
them.
an event with them in October. And this Ginny, the lady who runs them, I spoke to her several times last week, and she is just a spitfire. I got in touch with her through Giggy Bites. Anyone who knows me knows that my little sunset, little princess that she is, goes there every Saturday.
Right, I do see that on Facebook, yes.
Stephanie gave me the name. I said, we really, really would like a great charity that's going to put everything in. I mean, we've already sold tickets for their event.
And it's not till
in October.
And it's in October.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's so on board. And it's something that's been a real passion of ours. We tried to find some, a dog or pet charity. And the other one that was really passionate for us is we hooked up with the Westchester Food Cupboard. Again, even though we don't have children, I struggle with people in our community that just don't have food to
Sure.
eat.
Right.
So we were really happy. I mean, we love all of our charities, but there's some new ones for us this year that we're really,
Those
really
are some that
excited
you're really
about.
excited about. That's
So,
great.
and the people have been great to work with. I mean, you kind of get a vibe like when you first start working with them. Some people are just like, what do we do next? What do we do
Right.
next? What do we do next?
Ready
And
to
that's
go.
always a great sign of a great event.
Absolutely.
And we
Yeah.
incorporate the fur kids as often as we can,
Sure.
especially behind the scenes. They come to our prep days. Lucky Bella and Sunset are there to support us, and sometimes they're more helpful than other days when they just lay around and do nothing, can't get our staff to do anything for us.
But you still love them.
But we still love them, so we find a way to always include them.
They're great supervisors.
Sure. One of the things that, you mentioned a food cupboard, and one of the things that I've noticed in the last couple years is some of the places that distribute food also distribute pet food for people that maybe can't afford to keep their pets
Right.
because they can't buy them food, and they don't want to be in a position to get rid of them, which I think is wonderful.
Absolutely.
That a lot of, I don't know if Westchester does that, but I know there's
I'm
organizations
pretty
out
sure
there
that they
do
do.
that.
I would
Yeah.
have to confirm that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I recall reading through that.
Yeah.
Such a nice
But I
thing.
just think it's a
love
great
that.
idea, because, I don't have to tell you guys, how
Right.
many displaced animals there are, and, you always want to keep pets with their family if you can. So,
Right.
yeah. Well, anyway, so we're nearing the end, and I wanted to make sure people know how to get in touch with you guys. If they want to volunteer or donate or attend an event, let our viewers know about how to reach you on social media and your website and anything else you want to mention.
Great.
Sure. We have a Facebook page. It's Support Hotties for Humanity, and it's the number 4, not the written out. You can also email us at info@hottiesforhumanity.com. All of our events are on Facebook, and they're also listed on our website. So if you're a charity who would love to work with us, if you're someone who wants to come to an event, if somebody wants to donate to an event, or if you'd just like to help us out, we'd love to have you as part of our team.
Absolutely.
We'll find something that matches your skills and something that you enjoy doing. We want our team to be happy, fun, and make you feel as fulfilled as we feel.
Absolutely. So website www.hottiesforhumanity.com.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And please, if you don't know about them already, check them out. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.